As the setting sun cast long shadows across the desolate desert landscape, I found myself driving aimlessly, the monotony of the road stretching endlessly before me. The fading light bathed the arid expanse in an eerie glow, and the isolation weighed heavily on my mind. My GPS had long lost its signal, leaving me at the mercy of this forsaken land. As darkness descended, panic began to gnaw at my insides. I desperately needed a place to rest and regroup, hoping to find solace in the company of fellow travelers or at least a cup of coffee to ward off the encroaching fatigue. Just when I thought all hope was lost, a faint glow emerged from the horizon, beckoning me forward. The glow led me to an isolated gas station, its faded signage bearing the name Desert Haven. I parked my car in front of the weathered pumps, hoping to find some semblance of civilization within those worn walls. As I stepped out of the car, an unsettling stillness hung in the air, and an ominous chill crawled up my spine. Not even a gentle breeze whispered through the trees, leaving a stagnant hush that sent a wave of unease rippling through me. The air took on a peculiar chill, one that seemed to crawl up my spine with deliberate intent, leaving a trail of goosebumps in its wake. It felt as if invisible tendrils were reaching out, brushing against my skin with an icy touch, heightening my senses to the palpable tension that saturated the atmosphere. As my eyes scanned the landscape, a shroud of darkness seemed to blanket the surroundings, casting long, foreboding shadows that danced in the fading light. My heart hammered within my chest. Inside, the gas station appeared frozen in time. Dust-covered shelves displayed relics of a bygone era, their contents long forgotten. The silence was deafening, broken only by the faint hum of flickering fluorescent lights. Unease settled within me as I realized the absence of any signs of recent activity. It was as if time had come to a standstill in this forgotten place. As I made my way to the counter, a sense of foreboding gripped me. The air was heavy with an indescribable presence, as if the abandoned station held a secret it was unwilling to relinquish. Something whispered in the shadows, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. Curiosity mixed with trepidation led me to explore further. Behind the counter, I discovered a hidden trapdoor, its rusted handle tempting my curiosity. My heart pounded in my chest as I hesitated, my mind urging me to turn back. But the allure of the unknown proved too strong, and with a trembling hand, I opened the door, revealing a dark staircase that descended into the abyss below. The staircase creaked beneath my weight as I descended into the bowels of the gas station. The air grew heavy with a musty odor, and my footsteps echoed ominously through the subterranean chambers. The flickering light of my flashlight danced across the cold, damp walls, revealing cryptic symbols etched into the stone. As I ventured deeper, the faint sound of distant whispers filled the air, growing louder with each step. My heart raced, and a sense of dread tightened its grip on me. I pushed forward, drawn inexorably towards the source of the haunting voices. In a hidden chamber, I stumbled upon a ghastly sight. The room was adorned with macabre artifacts, symbols of a sinister ritual that had unfolded within these very walls. The whispers crescendoed into agonizing cries, and the air crackled with malevolent energy. Realization washed over me like a tidal wave. I had unwittingly stumbled upon a dark secret buried beneath the gas station. The spirits of those who had been consumed by the sinister ritual now hungered for fresh souls, and I had unwittingly become their unwitting prey. Panic surged through my veins as I turned to flee, but the path I had taken had disappeared, replaced by an impenetrable darkness. The spirits closed in around me, their ethereal forms shifting and contorting with malicious intent. Desperation fueled my fight for survival as I dodged their spectral grasp, frantically searching for an escape. Time lost all meaning as I ran through the labyrinthine chambers, each turn leading to yet another dead end. The air around me grew heavy, a suffocating presence that bore the weight of countless lost souls. It was as if the spirits had materialized, their ethereal forms looming just beyond the veil of my sight. The spirits' wails grew louder, their twisted voices echoing through the maze. I could feel their icy breath on my neck, their presence suffocating me. In that moment, I felt as if I was teetering on the precipice between worlds, the boundary between the living and the dead growing ever thinner. The spirits' presence engulfed me, their sorrow and despair threatening to consume my own fragile existence. Just when all hope seemed lost, a glimmer of light pierced the darkness. I sprinted towards it, bursting through a hidden door that led me back to the gas station's main floor. Gasping for breath, I stumbled out into the desert night, the echoes of the spirit's anguished cries fading into the distance. As I drove away from the gas station, the harrowing encounter etched deep into my memory. I couldn't help but glance back at the fading lights. The gas station, once a refuge in the desert, now stood as a haunting reminder of the evil that lurked beneath its surface. I knew I had narrowly escaped a fate worse than death, but the experience had changed me. The darkness had tainted my soul, leaving behind an indelible mark. The once serene desert now held a sinister allure, a reminder of the horrors I had witnessed. In the days that followed, I could still hear their cries, their whispers haunting my dreams. The gas station remained abandoned, its secrets locked away, waiting for the next unsuspecting traveler to stumble upon its sinister depths. And so, I share my story, a warning to those who venture into the desolate corners of the world. Beware the allure of the abandoned, for in the middle of nowhere, the line between reality and nightmare can blur, and the darkness that dwells within can consume you whole. Let's hop onto story number 2, but before I begin reading, make sure that you have subscribed to Mr. Scare for regular horror podcasts. The allure of the unknown has always captivated me, drawing me to the unexplored corners of the world. On that fateful day, armed with my backpack and a sense of adventure, I found myself standing at the edge of a supposedly abandoned town nestled deep within the heart of America. The air hung heavy with an unsettling stillness, and a chill wind whispered through the empty streets. As I stepped onto the cracked pavement, a sense of unease settled over me. The buildings stood as silent sentinels, their windows shattered and doors ajar, offering a glimpse into a forgotten past. The town appeared frozen in time, trapped in a perpetual state of abandonment. Curiosity mingled with trepidation as I ventured further, each step echoing through the desolate streets. The atmosphere grew increasingly eerie, as if the town itself held its breath, waiting for something to happen. And then, in the distance, I spotted movement. A group of figures emerged from the shadows, their presence jarring in the desolation. They wore masks, their features concealed behind an unsettling guise. As I approached, their actions became apparent. They were trapped in a bizarre loop, repeating the same actions over and over again, as if locked in a never-ending cycle. I watched in both fascination and horror as they performed their repetitive rituals. One masked figure tirelessly swept the same stretch of sidewalk, their movements robotic and devoid of purpose. Another stood frozen, forever caught in the act of painting a wall that had long lost its color. The rest engaged in various monotonous activities, trapped within the confines of their strange routine. My attempts to communicate with them were met with vacant stares and hollow laughter, their words devoid of meaning. It was as if their spirits had been drained, replaced by mere echoes of their former selves. Their existence was a chilling reminder of the town's dark secret. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, I delved deeper into the town's mysteries. The loop continued, the repetitive actions grating against my sanity. The masked figures seemed unaware of my presence, their focus solely on their never-ending tasks. It was as if they were trapped in a limbo, forever bound to this forsaken place. As I explored further, I stumbled upon an old diary, its pages yellowed with age. It spoke of a tragic event that had befallen the town, an incident that had caused a fracture in the fabric of reality. The diary described a desperate attempt to correct the course of events, but instead, the town had become a twisted reflection of its former self. With mounting dread, I realized that I, too, had become ensnared in this unending loop. Panic tightened its grip on me as I witnessed my own actions mirroring those of the masked figures. I was trapped in this macabre dance, condemned to repeat the same futile motions, my individuality slipping away. Time lost all meaning as I desperately sought an escape from the town's clutches. The loop became a maddening nightmare, each repetition grinding against my sanity. I could feel the tendrils of despair coiling around me, threatening to suffocate my very essence. It was a descent into madness, where the boundaries between past, present, and future blurred into an indistinguishable haze. The loop became a hall of mirrors, reflecting fragments of my fractured psyche. Each repetition revealed a distorted reflection of myself, distorted and fragmented, a distorted echo of who I once was. It was a cruel reminder of the unrelenting grip the loop held over me, a relentless reminder of my own helplessness. In a final act of desperation, I stumbled upon a hidden passage, a crack in the town's facade. The exit presented itself as a glimmer of hope, a chance to break free from the never-ending cycle. With every ounce of strength remaining, I pushed myself towards the light, tearing through the barrier that held me captive. As I emerged from the confines of that forsaken town, gasping for air, I felt a mixture of relief and terror wash over me. The mask of the loop had been shattered, but the experience had left an indelible mark on my soul. I was alive and safe, but forever haunted by the memory of the masked figures and their unending ritual. Now, I share my tale as a warning to those who are drawn to the mysteries of the unknown. Beware the allure of the supposedly abandoned, for in the middle of nowhere, dark forces can ensnare even the most intrepid explorers. The cycle may seem unbreakable, but there is always an exit, a glimmer of hope amidst the despair. Stay vigilant and tread carefully, for you never know what horrors await in the depths of the unknown. I never expected that a simple camping trip with my closest friends would turn into a terrifying journey through a dimension where time itself played cruel tricks on us. We set off with excitement, venturing deep into a remote forest that seemed untouched by civilization. Little did we know, our adventure would take an unexpected and chilling turn. As the sun began to set, casting an eerie glow through the dense canopy of trees, we made camp near a tranquil river. The surroundings felt strangely still, as if time itself held its breath. An uncanny silence settled over the forest, broken only by our laughter and the crackling of the campfire. But as night fell, we noticed something peculiar. The moon hung frozen in the sky, unmoving. We shrugged it off as a trick of the mind, attributing it to fatigue or perhaps the mysterious nature of the forest. Ignoring our unease, we carried on with our evening, roasting marshmallows and sharing ghost stories under the starless sky. It wasn't until the next morning that we realized something was terribly wrong. Our faces stared back at us from the reflective surface of the river, but they were not the faces we recognized. Wrinkles etched our skin, and gray hair sprouted where once there was youth. Time had betrayed us, and it seemed to be accelerating at an alarming pace. Panic gripped us as we frantically searched for answers, but the forest offered no solace. Days turned into mere hours, and hours into minutes. The passage of time became a distorted blur, leaving us disoriented and afraid. Our attempts to escape only led us deeper into the heart of this temporal nightmare. We stumbled upon an ancient stone circle, its purpose lost to time. Desperate for answers, we stepped into its center, hoping to find some semblance of normality. But instead, we were greeted by a blinding flash of light, and the world around us twisted and distorted. When the light dissipated, we found ourselves in a surreal landscape. The trees stood tall, but their leaves rustled with an unnatural haste. The air crackled with an electric energy, and the ground beneath our feet pulsed with an otherworldly rhythm. Each passing moment aged us exponentially. Our bodies weakened, our minds fractured under the weight of the relentless passage of time. We felt like prisoners trapped in an ever-accelerating spiral, inching closer to our demise with each passing second. In our darkest hour, when hope seems lost, we stumbled upon a peculiar sight. A glowing portal materialized amidst the chaotic scenery, beckoning us with a glimmer of salvation. Exhausted and terrified, we mustered the last of our strength and stumbled towards the exit, hoping that it would lead us back to our own reality. As we stepped through the portal, a rush of relief washed over us. We found ourselves back in the remote forest, our bodies returned to their youthful forms. Time had regained its normal flow, and the world felt stable once more. We collapsed to the ground, gasping for breath, grateful to be alive. But the memories of our ordeal haunted us, leaving us scarred and forever changed. The experience had shown us the fragility of our existence, the terrifying power of time when it spirals out of control. In the end, we were lucky to escape with our lives, but the scars on our souls would never fade. We vowed never to speak of that fateful camping trip, the dimension that twisted time itself. The forest held secrets too dark and unfathomable to share, and we would forever carry its haunting imprint. So, if you ever find yourself venturing into the depths of a remote forest, beware. Time may be a fickle ally, and its grasp can pull you into a nightmarish reality where every second is a torment. Cherish the flow of time, for when it turns against you, escape becomes an elusive dream, and survival hangs by a thread. Remember our story, and let it serve as a cautionary tale. For in the middle of nowhere, time can be your greatest ally or your cruelest enemy. Choose your path wisely, for the consequences of your choices may stretch far beyond the boundaries of your imagination. The remote island sat like a forgotten gem in the vast expanse of the ocean. Its reputation for strange phenomena and unexplained disappearances had intrigued and terrified people for decades. As a group of seasoned researchers, we felt compelled to unlock the secrets hidden within its mysterious depths. Little did we know the horrors that awaited us on this treacherous expedition. The boat ride to the island was fraught with tension. The sea seemed restless, its waves crashing against the hull with an unnerving fury. The sky above darkened, as if warning us of the dangers that lay ahead. Yet, fueled by our curiosity and scientific fervor, we pressed on, ready to document the enigmas of this cursed land. The moment our feet touched the island soil, an unsettling energy seemed to permeate the air. The dense foliage swallowed us whole, its suffocating grip closing in. We ventured deeper, guided only by the flickering beams of our flashlights and the whispers of the wind. Every step felt like a dance with the unknown, our hearts pounding in sync with the island's eerie pulse. It wasn't long before we encountered the first signs of the island's sinister nature. Strange symbols etched into trees, a sense of being watched from unseen eyes, and an unnerving silence that hung heavy in the air. Yet, driven by our relentless pursuit of knowledge, we pressed on, delving deeper into the heart of darkness. As our journey unfolded, we stumbled upon remnants of previous expeditions, tattered notebooks, discarded equipment, and the unsettling absence of their owners. Whispers of their fates haunted our thoughts, but we remained determined to uncover the truth, even if it meant confronting the unimaginable. And then, we saw them, creatures that defied all scientific understanding. Shadows twisted and contorted, their forms shifting with every glimpse. Eyes devoid of light stared back at us, filled with an ancient malevolence that sent shivers down our spines. Fear became our constant companion, woven into the fabric of our existence. The island became a nightmarish labyrinth, each turn revealing new horrors. We witnessed bizarre phenomena, gravity-defying, time-warping, and reality-distorting. The laws of science crumbled before our eyes, leaving us grappling with our own sanity. Our once tight-knit group began to fracture under the weight of terror. Desperation clawed at our souls as we fought against an unseen enemy. Some vanished without a trace, swallowed by the island's relentless grip. Others succumbed to madness, their eyes reflecting the horrors they had witnessed. In a final act of defiance, those of us who remained mustered our dwindling strength to escape. The island fought back, unleashing its most nightmarish creations to prevent our departure. But sheer determination and a desperate will to survive propelled us forward. As we sailed away from that cursed island, our bodies battered and our minds scarred, we carried with us a chilling realization. Some things are not meant to be discovered, some mysteries are better left unsolved. The island would forever haunt our nightmares, a reminder of the terrors that lurk beyond the realm of scientific understanding. So, heed my warning, dear reader. If you dare to venture to that remote island, be prepared to face the unknown. For within its depths lie secrets that will consume your very essence and unleash horrors beyond your wildest imagination. The relentless downpour pelted against the windshield, creating a symphony of raindrops as our car trudged through the darkness. Thunder boomed overhead, shaking the vehicle and rattling our nerves. With each passing minute, our hope for finding civilization waned. And then, as if mocking our desperation, the engine coughed and sputtered, finally giving up its fight. The car rolled to a halt, surrounded by a dense forest that seemed to swallow us whole. Fear mingled with frustration as my partner and I exchanged worried glances. Stranded in the heart of nowhere, we knew we had to find shelter from the storm. With a sigh of resignation, we abandoned the safety of the car and trudged through the rain-soaked forest, our only guide the flickering beams of our flashlights. Each step felt like a battle against the unknown, the darkness seeming to close in around us. After what felt like an eternity, we stumbled upon an old, dilapidated cabin. The sight of the cabin offered a glimmer of hope amidst the desolation. We pushed open the creaking door, revealing a musty interior that seemed frozen in time. The air hung heavy with a sense of abandonment, and shadows danced along the decaying walls. Ignoring our unease, we convinced ourselves that this was our refuge from the storm. As we settled into the cabin's musty embrace, a chilling realization washed over us: the silence. In the midst of the raging storm, the cabin was eerily quiet. The absence of nature's fury only heightened our unease. Our senses heightened, we became acutely aware of every creak, every whisper of wind, as if the cabin itself held its breath. The night wore on, and our nerves were on edge. Shadows played tricks on our eyes, their movements unnerving. Whispers seemed to drift through the air, faint and indistinguishable. It was as if the cabin held secrets that threatened to unravel our sanity. Then, in the darkest hour, we caught a glimpse of movement out of the corner of our eyes. Shapes darted in the periphery, disappearing before we could focus our gaze. Panic gripped us as we realized that we were not alone. Something sinister lurked in the shadows, watching, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Our instincts screamed at us to flee, to abandon the supposed safety of the cabin. But with the storm still raging outside, our options were limited. We were trapped, at the mercy of whatever malevolence inhabited this forsaken place. As the night wore on, the presence grew more palpable, its malevolence pressing against our very souls. Our desperation grew, each passing minute a torment. And then, in a final act of defiance, we made our escape. Ignoring the storm's wrath, we sprinted into the blackness, seeking salvation from the forest's clutches. But the haunting didn't end with our escape. Even now, as I share this tale, I can feel the lingering dread, the sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. The memory of that night will forever haunt our dreams, a reminder of the darkness that dwells within the depths of the forest. So, heed my warning, dear reader. If you find yourself stranded in the middle of nowhere, beware the dilapidated cabin, for it may not offer the sanctuary you seek. In the shadows, something sinister awaits, ready to prey upon the lost and desperate.